Hey Crazy Club, so today's video is going to be a story time video. Today I'm going to be doing how I got Achilles tendon lengthening surgery, and this is my dog Caleb in the background. So if he makes noises, that's why. So let's get into the story time. Okay, so I wanted to explain a little bit about my background story before I get into the real story time, how I got Achilles tendon lengthening. So let's get into the background. So when I was 3, I had a lot of feet problems. I had very stiff feet. I had always very stiff feet. I've always had very stiff feet. And we didn't really know why, so we tried like the professional orthotics from the doctor, which I don't recommend doing. I've tried like all the orthotics that you can buy at Walmart, Target, whatever. And so we couldn't figure out what my feet problems were, so we just waited. So when I started working at a daycare for 2 years, my feet really didn't bug me. Then when I started working at a warehouse, my feet were bugging me so bad. They hurt. Like, we thought it was my really bad shoes I had bought, but no, they still hurt with my work boots, which I don't have. I'll insert a picture here if I can figure it out. I was in so much pain that it was ridiculous. I started working at the farm, which I still volunteered at there. My feet were fine there. They didn't really hurt. Then I started working at Coburn's, which my feet started bugging me again. Like they'd go off and on, not very much pain. So I thought, whatever, I'm just not going to do anything about it. So then when I started working at a hospital, which I'm not going to give the name for personal reasons, they hurt so bad. Like, I was walking for 8 hours a day. I probably worked 3 days a week, whatever, I worked. And they started bugging me so bad. They were painful. I couldn't walk. They just hurt. I'm like, why are my feet so painful? Like they were. I had to buy some new shoes. I bought dance clothes, which they did work, but they were still sore. I was like, why do my feet hurt so bad? And we figured out. So then I was trying to figure out. I was in so much pain, and I was just like, why does this hurt? So I was in so much pain at the hospital. It was probably 10 or 11, which I'll get more into detail with this one, but they were so painful. I was walking, I'd get home, and whatever else. Sit down, relax, which I'll get in more. So let's actually get into the story time where I can actually explain how this all worked. Okay, so let's get into actual story time. So I'm actually I'm gonna go over what I just said about the hospital, which I'm not gonna give names for personal reasons. But like I said, I started working at the hospital. I've been working there for like 3 or 4 months or longer. And my feet started bugging me so bad. I didn't know what to do because they were. Every time I would walk, I would stand, and then my feet would hurt. I'm like, this hurts. Like, I would be walking, faking it through the day, telling myself my feet don't hurt, my feet don't hurt. But my left foot has always been the big deal. Has always hurt so bad. So my left foot was in pain. So I started taking Tylenol and ibuprofen. That actually sort of helped a little bit. I had to make sure I took it every six or whatever hours. And it was just really painful for me to work. So when I would get home, I would usually have a 4-day. Sometimes I'd have a 4-day off day, if that makes any sense. And my feet would kind of heal back into the normal states. And then when I would get up to work, my feet would more. They would just hurt. Couldn't even get out of bed in the morning. My feet were so stiff. I looked like an old granny, and no offense. I'm just saying that's what I look like. I could not walk. I was limping all day long. After I get off the couch for a while, I was limping. So then we actually went to the doctor last year sometime before I did my surgery, but we went to the doctor like in February of last year or something like that. And he's like, let's try this. So I was explaining my vlog, but I'll explain it now. But I was doing physical therapy and splints, which I don't know where my splints are, but I'll insert a picture if I can find them. But they didn't exactly help. They hurt more than helping. Sometimes it helped, sometimes they wouldn't. So one night, so he said, let's try whatever, physical therapy, splints, and whatever else. So we did. We tried it I did it for the longest time, and then I didn't really find that it was helping. So I was like to my mom, so I was wearing splints, trying to wear them again, and one night I was wearing splints, and my left foot hurt so bad, I just wanted to cry, because it hurt so bad, and I'm not sure why. Like, it was like 12:45 in the morning on like a Wednesday, Tuesday night, whatever. I was trying to sleep, and my pain was so painful. I ended up emailing my mother, and just said basically, I can't do this anymore. I need to go see the doctor. I need surgery. I was just like telling her everything that I felt that night. I was crying because my feet pain was really, really, really bad. And I just was like, I told her I can't stay on this anymore. I'm willing to pay for the surgery. I'm willing to do whatever. And I'm like, I just was so upset. I'll put it here if I can find it, and if it's not, like if I don't put too many personal stuff in it. But then I'll be crossing out some stuff. But yeah, so it was just really bad. Like I just could not sleep that night. It was like I was in pain. I almost took my splints off, but told myself I've got to try to wear my splints for a night. So I did. I think I ended up taking off my sleep. So before I got the surgery, I was denying it. I needed it, but I'm so glad I did it because it has changed my life, which I will get into. So then I think it was my mom scheduled me an appointment, like just in some time in September, October, whatever, I can't remember the date, but we went in there. He's like, he was just talking and said you were supposed to see me 6 weeks if it didn't work, which I had procrastinated, or I didn't really procrastinate, but I decided not to. But I am like, so then we went in. I was telling him the plan. So my pain level, guys, before I got surgery was 10 or 11 every day. But I was faking it, and yeah, so we went to the doctor, we talked to him, he's like, yeah, probably the best bet to do surgery. So yeah, so then we did the surgery the week after, so then I could not take ibuprofen anymore after 10 days prior to surgery. So he's like, yeah, let's just do surgery, and then it will be, it might be a long healing process, which it is, which I'll explain more in that moment. So then another thing is that I was in, so I went to the doctor, we talked to like the surgery scheduler, whatever else you call the person. So then we got home. I texted my supervisor, which I'm not going to add any of those texts in there because they're personal, but I texted her, like I said, I need to get surgery. I just told her a bunch of stuff, and then I got the surgery on a Thursday, which I'll get more into that. And then I had to go to do one of those pre-op things, I think that's what they're called, and that was the weirdest thing I've ever done in my entire life. So I was sorry to explain. So I went to the pre-op to make sure I was all good enough to go to surgery, whatever else. It was just a really weird thing. Then this, I'm not offended to say, but if you do this, you're gonna have to take a pregnancy. It does not matter if you're pregnant or not. They need to take it just because they need to make sure you're good to go to surgery. So yeah, that was just the weirdest part of my experience, but it was fine. Yeah. And then after that, then we just went home. So then we waited. So I ended up having surgery on a Thursday. So like I said before, I could not take ibuprofen for 10 days before surgery. So it's not technically, but I was on the Tylenol all the time, which I would tell you the truth, Tylenol did not work as well. I was in pain. I was talking to I had one coworker I was trying to not complain to her, but I was trying to tell her, I was just trying to, because she could probably see that my feet hurt. I could not even walk on them after break. Like I would take breaks at the hospital and I could not walk. And yeah, the person who did my scheduling gave me this bottle. I don't even think we have it anymore, but she gave me this bottle of like surgery rub, which I'm going to call it, which you had to do the day before surgery and the night before surgery, I think. So then you just rub it on your spot that you had. So here is my foot. I know this is gross, but you drop it on where you got the most surgery. So you just like rub it in like this. You drop it here and here, and you just rub it so I did the night before, so it was just, I did that, I took a shower the day before, then I did the day of surgery, which I got up super early to do, so I got up at, I think 6:30, took a shower, did the same thing. And then, yeah, so then let's get into surgery day. If you are going to have surgery, they're going to call you the day before or 2 days before, telling you what you need to bring, and all that. So basically what I had to bring is I think, a form of ID, and then I had to bring just a bunch of stuff, and I had to be there at 8:15 in the morning. I can't remember, but I think so. And yeah, so let's just get into like I said, I had to be there at 8:15 in the morning. So like I said before, I had to get up at 6:30 or whatever we did, and we took a shower. I took a shower, did the same rubbing on my foot. And yeah, so that was fun. Then we got to the hospital at 8:15. We checked in, whatever else, and I had my mom back with me. You can tell the nurses that you want your mom with you or not. I preferred to have my mom with me because it was just, I felt safer, I guess. Not really like no one was going to do anything to me, but I just felt a lot better with my mom there. And So then what we did then, I checked in the nurses. I changed into a hospital gown, which I think my mom has a picture. I don't know if she's going to let me use it for my YouTube channel for this, but I will ask my mother if I can insert the picture here, what I look like. I was in a hospital gown and socks. And then the doctor, then we did the IV, which was the worst part about it, and I'm not complaining, it hurt so bad because they did me, I think they did two, okay, I'm gonna try to remember, but I know they did, the first one they tried was here, you know, in the regular spot. Then I think they tried 2 times on this side, I think, and then they finally got it on my, I think it was on my left side, they finally got it in. It was not fun. Then I think they were giving me like fluid to keep me dehydrated, I think is what they were doing, I'm not really sure. Then you had your bunch of nurses, which I will say, guys, before I finish this, my sentence, that those nursing staff where I got my surgery at were the nicest nurses I've ever had in my life. They were always happy. There was a bunch of different nurses with the same names, but I'm not going to say that in the video because I don't want to, I'm not going to give anybody's personal information away, but they were so fun. They were always happy. So a bunch of nurses came in. There was different nurses that would give you, so I had a heated blanket. They made sure I was comfortable, whatever. So then the surgery nursing staff came in and was like, what were you getting onto this? So you had to say, like, I'm getting achilles tendon lengthening on my left foot, whatever. Everybody asked the same thing just to know what you're doing so you're on the same page as them. So then I was put under, and so the person that put you under, which I'm not going to say the word because I can't say it, came in and was talking about it. So then, they put the stuff you get put under in my IV, so that's how I fell asleep. The only thing I remember is I'm thinking they said, we're going to move you to bed, and that's all I remember. And the next thing I know, I'm in the hospital room, getting woken up. So the last thing I remember is that they told me they were going to move table, and that's all I remember. And then the next thing I remember is them waking me up from putting me under. I felt really like I was in clouds, or I was up in the air for a little bit. Then the nurse was like, are you doing okay? I'm like, yeah. So then I was waking up, and then the next thing I had was a splint on, which I'll insert a picture here. But it was really, really cool. My splint went really good, but my foot was so asleep. Like, it was, I fell up the stairs, which I'll get into that more in the later. But then I was so grateful to have it, because when I actually woke up from surgery, the pain was, well, like gone, but it was down to 2 or something, 1 or 2. It really did not hurt that bad. So then my mom and I decided to get Tylenol 3, which is a really high painkiller, which I only took for 4 days, I think. And then after that, we waited for 45 minutes to make sure I was awake. Then I texted my brother and some other people that surgery went well, and it was just great. It was a great experience for me. And then when the time was done, they took me into a wheelchair, and then so then we got into the car. Then I was so hungry, guys. The only thing I wanted was a Subway. So I was like, Mom, can you get me a Subway? And she's like, sure. So we got a Subway, and it was delicious. It was like the great, because I hadn't eaten for 8 hours prior to surgery. And then we also got a knee scooter, which I don't know if I have a picture, but if I do, I'll insert it here, which I used a lot in the house. The first day when I was at home, I was on the couch for I think 3 or 4 days, and I had my foot propped up. And if I have any pictures of that, I'll insert them here. But it was so much fun. Like, it wasn't really fun, but it was fun to heal. I had to be on the couch for, I had to be with my foot up for 5 days. And then I ended up I had a knee scooter the first day. My mom helped me around because I could not feel my foot. And I'm gonna backtrack really quick. Like I said, I fell up the stairs coming into my house because I couldn't feel my foot. I didn't know how to get up the stairs, I guess. So I figured those out, which I'll tell you later. So then we did that all. So then my mom and my sisters were my servants. The first day, guys, I will say this. You are going to cry for no reason. And I'm not saying everybody's going to cry for no reason, but I was still under, like, the anesthesia or whatever, and I was crying for no reason. So the only thing I wanted to do, guys, is, you know, I like to volunteer at a horse therapy farm, which that's the only thing I wanted to do. And I wanted to see my boss at the farm too. That's all I wanted to do. I was like, Mom, I want to go to the farm and volunteer my time. I just want to go. I was just like, I was so upset. I was just crying for no reason. Like, it was ridiculous. Yes, and don't feel bad if you're going to cry for no reason, because you're going to cry or you're not going to cry, because the anesthesia does stuff to you that it's not fun. So then when the anesthesia wore off, then the pain got a little bit more. I could feel the pain more, but it wasn't bad. And also we did a Tylenol and ibuprofen, and then the Tylenol 3, which the doctor gave me. And then after that, it was just healing process. I sat on the couch for 2 weeks. Guys, 2 weeks I wasn't really supposed to move. Then I will try to remember to put iCards up here or down in the description below, but I will put my 2 videos that I recorded of my surgery down below. And I will tell you the truth, that was the longest 2 weeks of my life. Then I could start moving about, but I had to be very careful because it was very hard to have a splint on. I used my knee scooter and crutches. I preferred a knee scooter over crutches. I got out of the house. I didn't drive for the first like 3 weeks until I actually got a walking boot on. So that's the next thing I'm going to tell you. So the next thing, I could shower. We would put a plastic bag on, whatever, wrap it up, whatever. And one day when me and my mom wrapped my foot up, we didn't wrap tight enough, so my split kind of got soaking wet. So then I slept for a night, I think, with it wet, and then we had it replaced with a walking boot. I can't remember how long. I think I had the splint on for a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember, but whatever it was, we were super close to getting walking boot on, and then we actually got my splint. So then I ended up getting a walking boot on, which I'll show you in a little bit. But I was super excited to get the splint off because it looked really gross. I am telling you the truth, guys. My leg looks better now than it did when we took the splint off. My leg was so skinny it's still kind of skinny, but this is what my leg looks like. I know it's kind of skinnier, but it was a good day. And then after I did that, I started walking in the walking boot, which I could not. Okay, you guys. Maybe no one knows what I'm talking about, but if you do, comment down below. But my foot was so stiff, I just could not figure out how to get it to move. So I had to be in a walking boot for the first 6 weeks. So I had to be in until December 7th, and then we got more details. So then after 6 weeks of being in a walking boot, I started driving around, and then I started working. So I think it was about 5 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever. It was really close to my doctor's note being expired. I ended up going back to work at the hospital. So we ended up doing 4-hour shifts for now, and then we got my doctor's notes. So I still have to get another doctor's note when we go back soon. So then when I was done, I could start walking. Then after my next doctor's appointment, which was December 7th, he told me I had still the restrictions on carts, which are are just like hospital carts. Then I could not. I could do 6 to 8 hours. And yeah, so it's really been a great journey for me. Actually, I'm glad this surgery was not my favorite part in the whole world because I'm still healing. One thing I can say is that after I had to wear my walking boot for another 6 weeks, which I'm still wearing one out in public, but when I'm at home, I walk barefooted. So I'm going to try to show you if I still find them, but my scars are very little, so I don't know if I can show you. But basically, I'll just point, I had one here, here, and here for surgery, but I'll insert a picture here. But it was a great experience. So then after that, it's been probably 3 months since I had surgery, but it's really great. I'm still working in the hospital. It's very difficult to get around though because a walking boot is a pain in the butt to walk in. I ended up walking with my work boot that I wear at the farm, but it was clean. So let me just show you my walking boot now. Okay guys, so here's what my walking boot looks like. It is a big walking boot. So basically you put your foot in. So you slip your foot in here, buckle it up, which I'm not going to put it on right now because I don't want to, and then this is the next piece you put on and then Velcro it. So that's my walking boot. I wore that for a long time. I still wear it out in public. I'm hoping by my next appointment is the 16th of January. And I'm just hoping I have good news. I'm not saying that I don't think I'll have good news. I want to get to the farm sooner than later. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's not too exact. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up this video. Comment down below what you want to see next. Comment down below, question of the day. Comment down below if you've ever had any kind of surgery, and if you have, what kind, and I'll try to respond. So then follow me on Instagram at crazycrafts or Kupo75, or you can follow me at Facebook at crazycrafts and Twitter at crazycrafts2. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.